And we're back with The Mandalorian, this time, Season 3, Episode 3. Yeah, so, 3, Episode 3, and what happened last time, we went exploring the ruins of Mandalore, or more specifically, Sundari City, the city of Sundari, and seeing the mines of Mandalore, where Bo-Katan had to step up big time and come and rescue Mando when he got captured by this little creepy crawly little thing. Well, Grogu went and got Bo-Katan, and then she came back and rescued Mando. And from then on, they continued down on into the mines of, I nearly said mines of Moria then, the mines of Mandalore, and Mando actually went into the living waters to get his redemption. But as he was doing that, he also got dragged under by something, which we later then saw, and Bo-Katan saw it as well, was what looked like the fucking Mosasaurus from Jurassic World. It's actually the Mythosaur, which is what the skull signet for all Mandalorians is based off of. So yeah, I wonder if we'll see that thing again. I'm not sure, but Bo-Katan definitely got a bit of a shock out of seeing that thing down there. But yeah, no more wasting time. I'm trying to get shorter with these long intros, so let's just get into. If you're on YouTube, you're going to be staying for the review, hopefully. But if you're on Patreon, you will be seeing my full-length reaction to Season 3, Episode 3 of The Mandalorian, starting right now. Okay, that was a long one. How long was that on for? 53 minutes. That was a long one. That was the longest episode of this season so far. And I can tell because it's nearly 9 o'clock. Crap. I've got to try and edit this. I've got to try and edit and export this by the end of the night. I've got to keep this quick. But how am I supposed to do that when this was such a long episode and there was a lot in it? Ranking out of the way. Okay. I am going to say it is better than episode 1, I think. But I wouldn't say it's better than episode 2. I think I enjoyed last episode a little bit more. Although that is certainly not to say that this episode was bad. It was amazing. Let's get the Mandalorian stuff out of the way first, because that was the smaller part of the episode. Where the hell did these TIE interceptors come from? The ones that ambushed Mando and Bo-Katan at the beginning. Where did they come from? They're not Moff Gideon's. Or could it be Moff Gideon's? Because the Amnesty soldiers were saying that it was that he'd escaped his war tribunal or something. So could it be Moff Gideon? Could it be someone else? Could it be Thrawn? We're getting close to the time when Ahsoka is coming out, and we know Ahsoka is going to deal with Thrawn coming back, and it is in the Mandalorian timeline. So could this be Thrawn making some kind of move? Be interesting if it is. Very interesting if it is. Once again, a nice little ship-to-ship battle. But this time on the ground level, where everything is like incredibly fast. Like I was saying this in the reaction. When they're in space, they don't look like they're moving that fast. But when they're on the ground, when they're in the atmosphere, you can actually tell how fast they're going. And it's tense. It's very tense. But yeah, it was all just a front to end up for the TIE bombers. It was all just a distraction for the TIE bombers to bomb, to destroy Bo-Katan's home. And that must be hard. That is very hard. I know that's hard for Bo-Katan to take. They had to get away, and lo and behold, we go back to the covert. I feel like the redemption story should have taken like the entire season. I thought the redemption story was going to take the entire season, but no, only 3 episodes in, he's already received his mission of going to the mines. He's bathed in the mines, and he's come back and been accepted, all in 3 episodes. I can't believe it's gone that fast. And not to mention a little added bonus going on of Bo-Katan being redeemed as well, in the eyes of the covert. Although Paz Vizsla, he seems to be not so convinced. Yeah, he doesn't seem so convinced. So I wonder what role he's going to play. Once again, Bo-Katan finds herself in a small army of Mandalorians who are loyal to her. I mean, they're all loyal to each other. She's not their leader, but they're loyal to her. And it's been a while since she's had anything like that, and this is what she wanted in the first place. A loyal army to help take back Mandalore, and could these Mandalorians be the ones to do that for her? I mean, there's still the issue of the Darksaber and Din Djarin holding the Darksaber to go around, but we'll see if they can sort that out in any kind of way. So yeah, Bo-Katan, by accident, has been redeemed. But most of this episode took place on Coruscant. I was not expecting to see Coruscant ever again. And none of that was seen post-Empire. And in a time when CGI is so good as well. Like the last time we saw... I said this in the reaction also, the last time we saw Coruscant in a live action movie was 2005 in Revenge of the Sith, and CGI was not the best back then. It was decent, but it wasn't the best. Not like this, and it looked incredible. And not to mention we went to a location that I know as well, a location that I'm familiar with, the place where you can see the only place on Coruscant where you can see the actual planet's surface, the highest mountain. That's where Obi-Wan and Satine met well, they didn't meet each other, but they had a meeting there in Clone Wars, so Obi-Wan and Satine have been there. So that's a place we have connection with in terms of history. A surprise that most of this episode focused on Dr. Pershing, a character who we thought was a character who basically didn't have much to do in the first season. I can't remember if he was in the second season, but he didn't have much to do in that first season. And here he was, like, basically the main focus of this one, and he finds himself in a moral dilemma, and it's no accident that they also told us his, like, past, his backstory as well, saying that, yes, his mother died, and if cloning technology had been available on his planet, her death could have been prevented. And he just wants to do the right thing. He believes that his research... Like, he always had good intentions, but the Empire twisted that. And he believes that his research can still be used for good intentions, but to do so he has to break a couple rules, and once the government gets wind of an amnesty soldier breaking the rules, red flags start going up and everyone's up in arms again. Like, they're rebelling against us. Like, there's an uprising, they're going to try and take everything from us again. But it's just one doctor who's doing it. Like, he's a spy. But I do love the idea of the amnesty program, where they're taking these old soldiers, scientists, whatever, they're taking them from the Empire, people who want to be redeemed and want to serve something better, and they're housing them in specific places. Like, it's something it's something you never thought of up until this moment, really. Well, it's something I've never thought of up until this moment. But what happens to people of the Empire who want to be redeemed after the Empire fell? What happens to them? And we're getting those answers here. It's very interesting. And in the end, I was surprised that we saw Elia Kane, who was a very, very, very small part of season 2 of Mandalorian, as Moff Gideon's second in command. To see her here, she was a big role as well. And yeah, just stringing Pershing along the whole time. Like, she could have just reported him when he was first beginning to do it, but no, she just strung him along the whole time, waiting for him to get far enough so that she can prove that he's guilty. And even then, when he was in the Mind Flayer thing at the end, after she ratted him out, like, I thought, like, okay, maybe she does feel guilty about this. She, like, feels like like she also feels like he's going off the deep end and that he needs to be rehabilitated. And it looks like that mind flayer thing was doing that for him. Like you could hear him like sighing in relief when it was going on. But then she turned it up. So she's obviously got evil intentions against him. But what for? I mean, maybe this is Moff Gideon. Maybe this is Moff Gideon because she was his second in command. We're hearing the stories that he escapes from his war tribunal, that he may be out there somewhere. And Pershing was part of Gideon's mission. Like, Moff Gideon was using Pershing to experiment on Grogu. Only this week of watching episodes will reveal the puzzle to me. So yeah, this was episode 3. I'm going to be heading on to episode 4 tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, that's all we've got for this episode of Mandalorian. Until next time, we are over and out. Bye!